Welcome to AHEPA Senior Living, a podcast dedicated to introducing seniors and their families to exceptional care and community provided by AHEPA Senior Living, where we'll also go behind the scenes and talk with people who make this happen. Join us as we explore the stories, insights, and experiences of those who make AHEPA Senior Living a place to call home. I'm Olga Karlutzis, and this is AHEPA Senior Living. In this very special episode, we will be speaking with Jennifer Bedolla, Directors of Operations. You'll get to hear how seniors are thriving at AHEPA Senior Living. Hi, Jennifer. Thank you so much for joining.
Hi, thank you for having me, Olga.
Can you tell me a little bit about your title and your role at AHEPA Senior Living?
I am the Director of Operations for Hellenic Senior Living. It is a branch of AHEPA Senior Living. I have been in this position for just a year, July 5th. And my job is to ensure operations is running smoothly at 4 of our facilities located in Elkhart and Mishawaka, Indiana, up north. And then we have a property in central Indiana, Indianapolis. And we have a property in the southern tip of Indiana, New Albany. And it's just a hop, skip, and a jump away from Louisville, Kentucky.
Great. Do you want to talk a little bit about your upbringing? What led you into this role?
So when I was a little girl, my mom was a CNA working in a skilled nursing home facility. And on the weekends or whenever she wasn't working, she would bring my brother and I to the facility to visit the senior citizens. So I was probably about 3 years old, maybe a little bit younger. And I grew up believing that they were all my grandparents.
Cute.
So it spurred that love for seniors. And of all the populations I've worked with, from infants all the way up to seniors, I have found that my greatest passion has been with the elder adults.
That makes sense to me. That would bring such a comfortable feeling for you.
Yes.
What is your background?
So I was raised in Indiana. My mother and father met in Illinois. My mom is Puerto Rican from Puerto Rico, and my dad is Mexican from Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And so I grew up with these very distinct cultures. And while we're all of Spanish descent, family is everything to our culture, and also the respect for our elders and the traditions that they pass on and what they instill in us. In my culture, everyone has a hand in raising you. So it has been fundamental in my development of respecting others with different cultural backgrounds. And where I grew up, we were a minority. So it was also respecting the traditions of the people around me and adapting to those. It's helped me a lot in my career, especially because I started out in social services. It's helped me understand to take a step back and look at where everybody's at, where they're coming from, and to understand that their background, their family culture, where they grew up also plays a huge role in where they need to be met. And so my unique upbringing has allowed me to do that for our residents as well.
Beautiful. Can you tell me a little bit about how long you have been with AHEPA Senior Living?
I have been with AHEPA Senior Living for just shy of 16 years, probably more closer to 15 and a half years.
Wow.
I started in service coordination. My background is psychology, so I worked with them in helping our seniors receive resources and live their highest quality of life with services or independently, which is the stipulation to live there. They have to be independent or independent with services. And from there, I was promoted up to an assistant quality assurance manager. And in that role, I supported our service coordinators in working with our seniors, in addition to making sure that our work met the compliance, HUD compliance. And a year ago, they promoted me up to Director of Operations. So it's been a labor of love. And I'm passionate about making sure we have homes for our seniors and they have the resources they need to live the highest quality of life that they can.
You've had so much growth there. That's fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Jennifer, how often are you visiting these properties?
I visit the properties a minimum of once a month, and then I increase that based off of the need. Or I just want my presence to be felt at the properties because it is a mission of mine to be part of their culture background. I want them to be so used to seeing me that when I walk into the property, it's not a shock. It's, oh, okay, Jen's here again today.
Right. So, can you tell me a little bit more about your compliance standards?
Yes. So the IHCDA, one of the many acronyms that we have to remember, has adopted or adapted the Inspire inspection module from HUD. And it's built and geared around health and safety for our residents. A lot of it has to do with the resident units. And we do this by doing biannual inspections of the entire facility, the grounds of the facility, and every single resident unit, that things look exactly how we would expect them to be for any facility that we enter. And then there's the state regulations. And so state comes in and does an annual assessment. And I have a wonderful group of executive directors and a regional team that strives to make sure that our facilities are operating and the departments are running the way they are supposed to.
That's awesome. And it just seems like not only are you following compliance with the state, but it just seems like a place that you would want to have somebody that you love there because you're putting so much care into it and effort. You're bringing that family energy, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So one of the things that we do an amazing job at is inviting families to come in and visit with their families in our community spaces,
Very
not
nice.
just the resident units. I always ask, would I want to put my mom here? Would I want to put my dad here?
I
Or
love
if I had a grandparent in this facility, would I want them to be here? And so it is a personal because of how I grew up and visiting nursing homes with my mom and thinking they're all my grandparents. And I genuinely want to see our residents live their highest quality of life.
And you could tell also, just in speaking with you, you not only hold the spaces at a high standard, but you hold yourself at a high standard, which will then trickle down to the people that you're working with.
It takes every single individual to make our facilities run, and each of our properties could have anywhere from 45 to 55 employees at any given point in time in that facility. So it was important for me to connect with our employees, our directors, and our hourly employees to see that we are up front and center, that we care. Every single director that works under our executive directors has my personal cell phone number, and some of our hourly employees do as well. And they all have the ability and opportunity to speak to me or text me. I'm not corporate, I'm human. And while I do represent our home office, our resource center, but I also represent each and every single one of them.
I love that approach. And you want people to trust in you because then they're excited to do the job because they see you're excited to do the job.
And I think that it's important for them to know they're not alone. Here's the thing, it doesn't matter what your background is. You have a voice and a creative resolution in you to handle a situation, creative problem solving. And so I want our teams to be a part of that, whether hourly or directors or executive director. Everybody should have a voice in the business that they work in.
And I think one of the greatest gifts in life, and it seems like you do too, is being of service.
Absolutely. And that goes back into how I was raised and my upbringing.
I love that. Talking about the family, how you were raised in these two different cultures, but the main focus was family, right?
Mm-hmm.
Plus the emphasis on respect for our elders. How is your upbringing affecting your day-to-day work?
It has been really a boon and a blessing. So English is my first language. It is not my parents' first language because I learned Spanish second. I was never taught slang. I was taught proper Spanish by my mom, and I was not allowed to speak anything other, which is a complete disservice to me because that means that when I go into the community, if people are speaking slang to me, I don't always understand what they're saying, but my mom understands. So what has happened is my mom donates her translation services to Hellenic Senior Living or AHEPA Senior Living for
That's
free.
nice.
Since I've been with AHEPA, and that's 15 and a half years,
Yeah.
my mom has been helping with translation since I started with the company.
Wow.
Yes. So
Wow, that's awesome.
she's
And
on
she
her.
donates her time for that.
She does.
So what sort of career accolades can you share with us?
Well, I have a couple of them that I'm extremely proud of. When I started with the company, our turnover rate was higher than it is now. And I'm really proud to say that we've decreased employee turnover by 66%. And we've done this through training, onboarding, mentorship. But also, I think a large part of why our turnover has lowered is because I'm showing up and I'm
Because they
letting them
have
know
you.
I'm invested. I'm invested in what they're doing. And so I have done a lot to make sure that they know that I care. And if there's something that I can do to help each of them succeed in their roles, that we will make that happen, whether through training, whether through conversations. I am a firm believer of that.
I can see how your blended family has helped you in your career.
Mhm.
Being able to speak with empathy and meet with others where they are in life is so important to you, and you really exude that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jennifer, for coming onto the podcast, and I hope to see you again soon.
Thank you, Olga, for having me be part of this podcast, and I appreciate you.
Appreciate you too. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell for future episodes where we'll continue to explore these stories and experiences that make AHEPA Senior Living a place where seniors thrive. And until next time, take care.